Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, you guys, to AG University Podcast. It is I, your professor speaking and lead dancing unicorn at Anna Grace Newell on all major platforms and at AG University Podcast on Instagram as well for your little daily dose of Akashic records, angels, and all the things AG University. We'd love to have you over there. I am fresh. I am back from Costa Rica. I'm actually pretty crispy. I'm a little sunburned. My poor little nose is peeling. Let me tell you what, sun in Costa Rica, be sunning. Okay. It was really, it was hitting. I have so much to talk about on this podcast. I'm about to just blah, 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 blah. Make sure your headphones are not in fast forward. Someone left me a review one time and was like, I actually don't know what you're saying because they didn't realize that I was in fast forward and I already talk fast, but I'm going to go ahead and take a deep breath and yeah, try to talk a little slower today. Also, if you're listening on the other side of this, give me a nice big inhale, hold at the top, big exhale. Doesn't that just feel so good? I mean, you can really just alter the course of your day or any moment by taking a nice, big, deep breath. I'm a firm believer that everything goes back to the breath. So I'm back. Hello from Costa Rica. It was my first ever official AG University retreat. And I could just combust. I could combust into fairy dust, into unicorn sparkles because I was overflowing with so much just gratitude and joy the last 2 days. So I got home on Wednesday. Is that correct? Wednesday. Today's Friday. And it just could not. This was my first retreat that I've ever hosted. So I'll give you guys all the deets. First retreat I've ever hosted. First time going to Costa Rica. Was working with a company that was helping me do the logistics, like flights and buses and getting everyone spa appointment, like the nitty gritty details. Hadn't worked with any of these people, have not met any of the people that were signed up for the retreat, was just really going in saying, I'm trusting the universe. But you know what? Your girl knows the universe always has my back because my intuition felt really good about the location that we picked in Costa Rica because there's a lot of places in Costa Rica. You can go beachside, you can go jungle side. So there was a lot of moving parts, and I kind of felt as if I was just rolling the dice. I said, universe, I trust you. I'm in surrender mode. I trust every person. I did set very strong intentions for every single person. I really wanted this to be a very powerful, transformative experience on top of being, a community gathering and also a relaxing vacation. But I also really wanted people who were open to doing the work, who were going to go home and be like, wow, I feel different. I feel lighter. And I have so many stories for people. We've only been home for 2 days and people have just been sending me messages with updates. So I'm going to tell you guys all the updates, all the magic that took place because obviously we're the dancing unicorns and we are magical beings. So if you're new and you missed me talking about the retreat, I hosted a 6-day retreat in Costa Rica. I was there an extra day just to get everything set up. So I was there for 7 days and all the dancing unicorns, everyone came alone. So not one person traveled with someone else. Everyone was alone. And my dancing use came from all over the United States and Canada. We were just all over. And it was so cool because everyone, I would say not that I'm surprised, but like the I don't know, I just didn't really have expectations for anything, but I was overjoyed and pleasantly surprised that everyone was immediately just clicked. Everyone was obsessed with each other, truly. And there was not like one little group that gathered. Everyone just flowed so perfectly. We all mixed up. Everyone got along. Everyone did one-on-one time with everyone. It was just like the most loving, open-minded group. I feel like everyone was so open to being vulnerable and sharing what was going on in their life. And I'm obsessed with them. And it really, one, I'm so excited to do more live events. If you couldn't make this retreat, no worries. We're definitely going to be doing other retreats because not one thing went wrong. I mean, literally, there was not one hiccup. There was not one missed flight, lost bag, nothing. I mean, and I really did. I was setting some pretty powerful manifestation intentions before I went on the retreat. And guess what? It worked. That's why I'm the lead dancing you here because the manifestation, it's working. Everyone was incredible. Even my roommate for the trip, so Peyton, was helping me. She is with Evlo Fitness. Some of you girlies may know Evlo. They are so Peyton actually is a doctor of physical therapy, which even that little detail was so funny. She's, I guess, a former doctor of physical therapy. Now she works with Dr. Shannon, who's also a former doctor of physical therapy, and they run a fitness platform together. And their whole movement is gentle consistency, really just like how to set your body up for success. Love them so much. They've actually come on the podcast. You guys should check out their episode if you want to learn more about their approach to movement after, working in physical therapy and seeing clients and really understanding the human body from a super data driven point of view. But even that little caveat was so funny because originally Austin wanted to come on the Costa Rica trip because I got a +1 because obviously I had another bed in my room so I could have another person come with me. And Austin wanted to come, but then as it got closer, I suddenly was like, Austin, I'm so sorry. Your like alpha energy is just not the vibe. Like I love Austin's, he's so in his power. He's a king. We love a king. But king energy was just not the energy I wanted. And I'm so glad because everyone was skinny dipping and we were all just wilding on the trip. And he would have been like so awkward. He would be like, I don't know where to look. Where do I go? So I gave him the boot. Lovingly, you can't come. Austin, you're not invited. So then as it got closer, Peyton had reached out to me and was like, hey, if you need any help, Evla would love to be a part of the trip and we could teach some classes. And I was so excited because I hadn't even met Peyton in real life either. And keep in mind, you guys, another little universal wink. I had just dislocated my shoulder. You guys have been along for the shoulder saga. And then the universe is like, perfect. Don't worry. We're going to give you like not only the most angel sunshine meditation teacher queen who also knows a ton about labrums and shoulder and physical therapy and all the things to support you on this trip. Like even that was just so comically perfect. And Peyton and I could not have, I mean, I literally was like, are we the same person? I love you so much. Every single person on the trip was just like such a divine placement. It was so freaking cool. Yeah, I could go on and on about how obsessed I am with everyone, but also how much. So I guess I'm going to tell you guys some of the takeaway, some of the things that we did. But I loved that little wink with my roommate Peyton because she was incredible. I'm also obsessed with her, and I told her, I'm like, you're never escaping me. You have to come visit me. I'm going to come visit you. Like everyone, if you're looking for community, doing these retreats is just so vital. Like I feel we have a group chat going. We've all been talking nonstop all day since the retreat. It just is harder to meet people as you get older and not only meet people, but meet people that have the same interests in you. And obviously, if you're listening to AG University podcast, you're going to have something in common with someone else at any of my retreats or events. So, and the events is coming. It's percolating, it's formulating. I'm going to get to that later on in the podcast. But yes, so okay, so headed to Costa Rica. Actually, let me back it up a few steps because I also have a couple of life updates I want to share with you guys. So, for this is just going to be like an all over random chatty solo episode with me, but Austin and I have had the craziest living situation saga. If you've been an OG listener, you know what's going on. If you're new, hi, I'm so happy you're here. I have been, I would say we've moved like 6 times together over the last 2.5 years. I mean, it's crazy. And everyone's like, why have you moved so much? Austin was a former football coach. And if anybody knows anything about coaching, it's just there's a lot of movement. There's a lot of moving parts. He got out of coaching. We moved to Florida. We were living in a rental for a year. And it was just, first of all, it was so overpriced. And I just didn't love the house. And, anyways, we found another house that we're living in now, but we can only live in the house for 10 months out of the year because for 2 months out of the year, the homeowners come home. So we're just renting their beach house. And I bet people are listening, you're like, that sounds insane. And here's the thing it is. It's also very hard to find rentals here. Where we live. I live in Florida and we have a literal meditation rooftop and oceanfront view home. And the price is just incredible. It's, I'm so obsessed with the house. I fantasize about buying this house every day of my life, but the owners are, as of right now, they're not selling it. So it's okay. I have become obsessed with the neighborhood that we live in because it's pretty far out from town. So it's super quiet, super peaceful. It's a really, yeah, just safe community neighborhood. And I love it so much. I have been, so, okay, we were supposed to move out right now. It's March. We're supposed to move out June and July, move out for 2 months, and then move back in for 2 months. And about 2 weeks ago, I looked at Austin and I was like, I can't do it. I can't move one more time. I snapped. I was like, I cannot move, live somewhere random for 2 months, move it. Like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. And the only reason you're like, why haven't you bought a house or why haven't you found a more permanent situation? Everyone kept telling us it's a terrible time to buy. Interest rates are terrible, blah, 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 blah. Y'all have all heard us, you know. I'm kind of a fairy unicorn and I try to just stay out of all of that. And I just believe the universe is going to guide me where I need to go because I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I can't pack one more box. The next time I pack, I told Austin I am packing and we're moving into a home. So 2 weeks ago, I was like, that's it. We're buying a house. I don't care about the interest rate. I don't care about the economy. I don't care what anybody has to say. I don't care about anyone's financial advice. I am so ready to be settled. And also, when we first moved to Florida, I had never even been here. Okay. We moved to Jacksonville, never been here once. Nope. Just up on a whim, we moved here. Boom, we lived here. So that's why when the interest rates were better, I was like, we're not buying a house because I don't even know where do I want to live? What's the beaches? Where would I feel community? Like, where do I want to be? That was a little overwhelming. So that's why we've been in all these like kooky, crazy rental situations. They've actually really been great and everything's worked out, but I'm just really looking for some stability. And also, this would be our seventh. If we moved in and out 2 months, that would be like 8 moves. I think I'm calculating. It honestly could be more. It has been so many. Some would say too many moves. So as of 2 weeks ago, I told Austin, I said, we're getting married because that was another thing too. We wanted to be married, do the whole thing correctly, legally. I was like, we're getting married in October. It's close enough. We are buying a house together. Okay. Like it's just happening. So we're on a walk. It's about 2 weeks ago, and we're walking around our cute little neighborhood and we see an open house sign with little balloons. And we're like, perfect. So we walk into around and there's another part of the neighborhood that's a little bit further back from where we are. And we go in, we walk up the driveway. I'm like, cute. Walking in and I open the door and there's like immediately a dog barking at me and the realtor comes and she like quite literally closes the door in our face and is like, hey, sorry, the family's back. Like the showing's over. We'll have to connect with you guys another time. We were like, oh, well, dang. Literally, physically and symbolically a door being closed in our face. I was like, this doesn't feel like it's for us. As soon as I walked in, I was like, this house is not the vibe. So we're like, okay, well, darn. Because another thing is it's hard to find houses for sale in Florida. And also the other part of Florida that we were in, Ponte Vedra, the houses are very expensive there and you just don't get a lot of bang for your buck. So it's just been, it's been a journey trying to find the perfect place for us. And also, I really need an at home studio. So for recording, because as you guys can see right now, I'm recording on our screen porch and there's always like some random something in the background of my videos. At this point, I'm like, whatever, it is what it is. But so we're walking home. We're like, just out enjoying a little stroll. And I can't even remember why we were on a walk. I felt like I just intuitively was like, let's go get some steps in because we don't typically just go on random walks on the weekend. Usually we do that after work on weekdays. And we walk into our random neighbor, Dan, Interscene Dan. And we're like, oh my gosh, hey, Dan. Dan is a sweet old retired man in our neighborhood who Austin and him will just chat for legit an hour just on a walk. He's super friendly. And he's like, what are you guys up to? And we're like, hey, Dan, nothing. Oh, we were actually just going to an open house, but it was over. We missed it. And, I was kind of like, I guess it wasn't meant to be. And he's like, well, you know what? We're moving back to California and we're selling our house. And we're like, shut up, Dan. Talk to me. What? You are? So suddenly we're like, both of our ears perk up. We're like, really? And he's like, yeah. And he's selling a house on the same street that we're on, which is really where I wanted to be. Cause you guys know I have my gal pal who lives next door to me, Taylor, and I have lots of friends now in the neighborhood. So I really didn't want to leave the neighborhood if I didn't have to. And he's like, yeah, we're thinking about showing the house actually in the next 2 weeks, but we could show it to you guys first if you're interested. And we're like, yeah. We're like chomping at the bit. We're like, Dan, yes. So as of tomorrow morning, we're going to do our first potential house walkthrough to see if we were going to get the house. And they also have an oceanfront view, which I really, really, really want. Austin's like, it's not that important to me. I don't need it. I'm like, I need it. I need it. I really, really, really want it. Just because I do so much work outside on the porch, all the places. So that is our current house update. I love to give you guys a play by play. Here's the thing, it could work out, it could not, I don't know, but I did love the way that when you just start putting out feelers in the universe, how random people, places, and things just start shifting. That's such a good example. Like went to this one open house and like, nope, slams door in face, not for you. We're like, okay. Next house, I mean, on our walk home, run into our neighbor who's like, yeah, come over next week when you get home from Costa Rica. I was like, we'll be there. Here's the thing, we will be there. We will not miss it. So I'm going tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. and I want to take you guys on this house journey because I feel like buying a house is the ultimate surrender process. You just never know where you're going to end up. So, as I am leaving for Costa Rica, I'm on the airplane and I start journaling. Just totally, I always love to tell people great hack, manifestation journal time on the airplane is the best ever. It is elite behavior because you're quite literally on an elevated plane in the sky, closer to the heavens, closer to your higher self. Planes are portals. I say it all the time. Planes are portals. Like there's so much energy. There's excitement for the trip or the journey that you're on. They're just a portal, and it's the most freaking supreme time to manifest. Write in your manifest journal. Journal as your higher self. You are closer to the heavens, closer to your angels. They are listening. They are moving all the parts because you literally have this bird's eye view when you're in an airplane. I feel like I can always kind of zoom out from my life and take a look at all the moving pieces down below. And I started journaling and I was like, you know what? I feel because as of like 2 months ago, I was totally fine just renting. I was like, you know what? It is what it is. I'm not going to rush it. And then all of a sudden, I just woke up one day and was like, that's it. We're buying a house. I felt so activated around like this is the decision. This is what I want to do. And as I, as I said, it could work out. It could not. You never know. With there's a lot of moving parts that go into buying a house. Da 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 da. But that has been a want or a desire that has been activated inside of me, and I really feel like that's how manifestation works. Like when we're ready for this next level, we just get like I literally feel like this switches on inside of us, and we start having a want or a desire or a goal. Because sometimes I don't really have anything that I'm manifesting. Sometimes I'm just happily existing, like la la la, boo boo. All of a sudden, I said, "This is it. I need a house." And so when I was manifesting in my journal on the plane, I was writing about the house, our future home. I keep saying, it's this or something better. It's this or something better. If it's not this, something better. It is. I'm going to release the outcome. I am in full surrender mode. I trust the process. Even if I have to rent for another year, at least I've started the process of really wanting to get my ducks in a row so that we can buy a house, whatever that looks like financially, legally, being married, all the things, blah, 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 blah. So I'm journaling and I kept journaling about how I saw myself with a studio. And that has been the one thing that I was like, I've been telling you guys, I've been hinting at doing a membership platform and wanting to bring in more live events and somatic work because I truly believe that that's why this autoimmune diagnosis was placed on my plate so that I could clear it and heal it and teach other people how to heal. So I'm not sad about it. I'm not upset about it. It's just a part of my journey. It's a part of my assignment. Oh, and that was the other thing. I got this visual when I was journaling on the plane. See if you can go with me on this. But I was connecting with my higher self and I was getting this imagery that our soul, before it comes into our body, it truly selects our soul's mission as if it's an autobiography. And it's like reading our story, reading our, our agreement that we make with God that we're going to come in and we're going to learn and we're going to feel and we're going to connect and we're going to do all of these things. I really believe this is just a learning playground. This is just a human experience that we are experiencing. And I really was seeing these visuals of like our soul, our higher self reads our life story, all these contracts that are going to make people that are going to marry, the big things, kids we're going to have, all of these things, reads the story and has this information. And then we come in, obviously, our whole journey here is to learn, to grow, and to evolve, and to remember our soul's mission. That's like the biggest part. And I felt as if my higher self was showing me, like, hey, I know your whole story. It's like I selected this autobiography. And then you come in, and anytime you tap into that intuition or your higher self or your knowing, you're connecting with this guide map. Like your intuition knows the plan, knows all of the next steps. You just got to trust it. And it took all this pressure off of me of like, you know what? All of these big things in my life, I have already on a soul level agreed to them. The person that you're going to marry, the house that you're going to live in, the big things in life. Like, yes, I believe we have free will, but I feel like it's kind of like a game of Monopoly. Like you can go right, left, this way, blah, 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 but you're always going to end up right back at one of the places that you're meant to be at. But you can take a bunch of different routes and go all these other places. And my guides were literally like, no, the train tracks have been laid down. You just need to hop on the train and go for a ride. You're not going rogue. You can go left or right, but the destination is ultimately going to be where you're meant to go. And that was the most freeing thought. Like it really takes so much fear out of the equation of just my entire life existence because I can just sit back and enjoy the ride. And I know in my heart everything that I'm here to do because I have awareness. Because I literally, even if you're like, I don't know if I can really hear my intuition, or I don't know if I'm that intuitive, if you just set the intention, hey, I want to connect with my intuition more. That's it. That's all you need to do. It's literally that simple. You are going to just literally sit on the train and go for a ride because everything that next few stops, you're not going to miss them. If I'm meant to have this house, it's going to happen. I didn't think about it once when I was in Costa Rica. I literally didn't. I was like, oh my God, I completely forgot. I hadn't even thought about it because I'm not worried. And I feel like that is such an empowering thing. I want you guys to remember that your soul, your higher self, she knows the whole bird's eye view, right? If you're someone like me that believes time doesn't really exist, I believe time doesn't really exist. The only thing that exists is the present moment. And your higher self, she has all the answers. She knows everything. And we don't need to know the whole plan. It would be a little overwhelming. We just need to know next step. You don't have to know the next destination in order for you to get going. You just got to ask your intuition, what's my next step? One step at a time. One step at a time. And there's no fear because you're not going to miss your destination. You're not. So I just thought that was an interesting. I just remembered that I was journaling, that this is my autobiography and I selected it. And my soul loves being Anna Grace. And it's so fun to play this part and to be in this human existence and to have all these things and all these people in Austin and Zane and all these people in my life. And just finding this comfortability that it's all in some way, shape, or form my destiny to be in this existence and I can't mess it up and you can't mess it up. Everybody listening, you can't mess it up. Even if there's a setback, you're like, oop, skirt. We're just being rerouted. It's like when you put in the GPS, you miss a turn, you're just going to get rerouted. There's no mess ups. Even the mess up was probably planned because you needed to stay and learn a little bit longer about this. And then your destination still going to take you where you got to go. So I just want, if you're listening and you're like, I don't know where the heck I'm going, just sit back, take a deep breath and say, I promise my higher self knows. And even if you're new to this work, you never even dabbled in it, you're going to end up, and I guarantee you right now, you can think of one thing in your life where you were guided or something that you thought you wanted this thing and then it worked out completely different. And then you were so glad it worked out the way that it did. And you have no idea how you ended up getting there. That's your higher self, God's plan, your intuition, whatever word works for you is always working in your favor. The universe always has your mother freaking back. Okay. Sorry, that was a very long caveat, but I was thinking about my journal and I wanted to share that because I have really leaned into that so deeply. And anytime I have, something that I worry about, I'm like, why am I even worried about? That is somebody else's issue. That's something that has not happened to me. And that's not in my journey. That's not my autobiography. That's not my timeline. I'm not going to worry about that. And then I'm like, I feel so at peace at this time of my life. So I say all of that, just taking you guys along on this journey with me of will we have a home where we will, oh, that's the other caveat for 2 months. The next 2 months that we would have to move out, we absolutely have nowhere to go. So another thing, letting go and just seeing where the universe takes us. But I kept journaling. I kept seeing myself with a studio room and I realized I've been wanting to get more into the membership platform, get more into the membership space, especially after I got all of the dancing unicorns together for the retreat. I was like, well, you guys are the best people to ever exist. The dancing unicorns are the loveliest specimen that's ever been created. I love you guys. And so we need community. We need a community portal. I want to do these live events. I had one girl on the trip who owns a studio and I told her, I was like, hey, maybe I could do a live event in your studio. She's like, I've been manifesting this. It is my dream for you to come in and do an AGU University event here. I totally manifested that. And I was like, look, see, it's already happening. It's happening. I am slowly getting the ball rolling for having people who want me to come into their spaces and us do a live event. So the live events piece is taking shape. But of course, there are some people that live all over. And that's where I want this virtual membership piece as well. So we can all communicate and take classes together. And I just know it's going to be epic. But when I sat back on the plane, I thought about it. I was like, I have no space right now in my home that we are living in so we're actually living in a fully furnished home. So there's really nowhere we can put the furniture. I can't move it. There's no free space for me to set up a camera and record me jumping around. And I was like, that's it. That's why I'm feeling this calling right now. Like, I need a home, I need a studio, I need space for this membership platform for me to give birth to this next version of AG University. Because after I did a somatic workshop with the girls on the beach in Costa Rica. It was powerful, it was potent. We also went skinny dipping, which was just for funsies. And then we did some primal screaming, and nobody had ever done it before, and it was also potent. We went out into the ocean, we swam far out, we faced out into the depths of the ocean, out into the void, and I said, we're going to do 3 rounds of screaming. And I want you to think about every single thing in your life that's frustrating you, something that's made you feel powerless or that you didn't have control, or the tightness in your jaw, the tightness in your body, and I want you to scream at the top of your lungs. There is something so magical and unlocking if you just scream your face off into the void, because I truly believe that women have a lot of repressed anger. I think as societally, generationally, we've been taught to be cute little pretty lamb, me. I felt that way. People look at me and they're like, there's no way you're an angry person. I'm not, but it's definitely deep, deep in there. Like, I'm talking ancestral. My mom worked in a very high powered male dominated industry. Like, I just think there's some stuff that there's some anger. There was some anger that I was a part of. Also, some anger that I've had, towards my body, towards myself, feeling frustrated when things are, you know, not working out the way that I want them to. And I think it goes back lineage wise, but also just the way that we've societally been, raised and programmed to, it's ugly for girls to act up or to scream or yell or bitchy, whatever. Fuck, everybody in their head can think of a scenario. We're angry. Okay. We've got feminine rage that is so powerful and so real. And if it goes unchecked, you are just allowing these emotions to stay trapped in your body, and that will manifest as what I believe the autoimmune diseases. They're actively way more prevalent in women than they are men, and I just think there's something to it, this kind of act that we feel we have to keep it all together and do all the things and take care of everyone and not ourselves, and it makes me angry. Okay. So anyways, I could go on a million tangents for that, but feminine rage is real. Okay. If you're angry, it's good. I like it. My therapist, every time I tell her, I'm like, oh, it just gets so mad. She's like, I like it when you're mad. I want to see you mad. I'm like, yeah, okay. But before that, I had really no tools of even expressing anger, even old anger. It's not so much in the moment, but like, you feel really angry and you squish it down. Great. That's just squished down. So I told all the girls, we're going to swim out to the water. We're going to do 3 primal screams. Because another thing, this screaming to a pillow is better than nothing. If you can do something, screaming to a pillow is good. But again, you're muffling it. You're literally muffling the sound. I want to hear the sound. I want to hear just a guttural battle cry come out of your mouth. But it's hard to do because, I think my neighbors would think Austin was hurting me or I was in harm or something if I was just letting out a blood curdling battle cry. So, no time like the present, Costa Rica, we all swam out into the ocean and we just unleashed all of the anger in the body. I said, we're sending it out into the void. The water is going to wash it away, cleansing our bodies of this emotion. And everyone, the first one we did, everyone's like, okay, yeah. And by the third one, everyone was just like unhinged in the best way. I was obsessed. So, anyways, we did that. And then I took him into a somatic dance workshop, which that one for me is all about anger release, because I came across this work when I started struggling with my liver, and the liver in Chinese medicine represents stress and anger. And I knew I had some repressed stuff going on there. So I started doing these somatic dance classes. It's a form of rhythmic healing that I channeled from the Akashic records, and I got everybody into it. They, at the end, I want Maddie, she literally was like, and so Anna Grace, that's the platform. Everyone was like, we need more of this. We have so many people who need this in their life. Everyone was so lit up by it. And I just felt so in my power, in my purpose, in my authority when I was doing that work, because I just can see all the energy just coming out of people. And I'm like, oh, yes, just like let that go. You would not even believe it. Literally everyone the next day was like, I feel the most rejuvenated I've ever felt. Like, I feel light, I feel happy, I feel joy, noticeable differences immediately. So, all that being said, that is part of the platform that I'm giving birth to. And I need a new house. I need a studio. I need a space to record it and to bring it to life. I just kind of like giving you guys these updates. And I think that's why my angels like flipped a little switch. My higher self just flipped a little switch inside of me. He's like, okay, it's time. You need to scoot, scoot. You got to get on this. You got to start working. Cause I was like, I guess I could record a space. And on the plane, the vision was an at home studio. So I'm really excited. Also, I would love to have like more of a nice, cohesive background for the podcast instead of just, a random screen porch, which, is fine for right now. Everybody's got to start somewhere. But that is the direction that I'm heading. And I highly encourage you guys to scream this weekend if you can, safely find a space to scream. How about that? If not, screaming into a pillow is also good, or punching a pillow, good, but sometime it would be nice for you to just to hear your own scream because that sound really is super activating as well. Let me tell you what. So, those were a couple of things that we did, a little of my teaching sprinkling here and there. Of course, you guys, if you have not listened to the podcast with Power of Eight, Lynn McTaggart, I will sum it up for you right now. She is my spiritual grandma. Okay. My spiritual grandpa is Michael Singer. Love him so much. Lynn is my grandma. Lynn and Michael Singer, I mean, power couple. I wonder if they know each other. I'm like, so you guys are my grandparents. I know you don't know how this works, but you are. You gave birth to my parents. So Lynn talked all about the power of eight. And essentially what it is, it's when you gather eight people into a circle. And I guess I kind of put my own spin to it, but I would tell all the girls to focus on their heartbeat and to gather all of the loving energy in their body, to pull it out of their chest, pull it out of their heart, bring it into their hands, and we would send it into one person at a time. We would hold the intention for 5 minutes. Lynn says to do it for 10, but I think 5 minutes, any intention is better than none, just because we had so many girls throughout the course of the retreat to focus and send a healing intention to. But I would guide them through a meditation. I would ground them. We would conjure up all the loving energy in our body. And the main girl, so we would go one person at a time, would set a really powerful intention. And then we would send our loving ball of energy their way, like literally with our arms, just like eyes closed, visualizing their body healing and changing. And these could be physical ailments or emotional ailments. And anybody can do this. If you have a few friends, you want to put together a power of eight circle. Lynn says eight is the perfect number. Sometimes we did more people because we had more people. You can also, even if you have five, anything's better than nothing. I'm someone that I think it's all about the intention. If you set an intention to heal and you gather people together, the universe is going to support you because you're bringing in all of your angels together, all of your ancestral support. So don't get too hung up on the nitty gritty details. I think it's all about the intention. And we had some really powerful energy healing sessions that took place on this retreat. That's where, like, anytime I do an event, I always tell people, like, when they're like, oh, this might be a little out of my budget, I'm like, you're paying to literally heal future versions of yourself, past versions of yourself. We are doing very, very powerful transformative work on top of vacation. So it truly is an investment into your future self, your higher self, your entire life. Like, I just can't explain how passionate I am about the work that we did this past weekend. But anyways, I will give you guys a few examples. So that's the Power of Eight circle. So every morning we would meet in the evening or in the morning or in the afternoon, whichever our schedule was set up for. Because of course we did fun things like horseback riding and went to waterfalls and went skinny dipping and giggled and made friendship bracelets. Also the food was delicious at the resort. It was a gluten-free resort. Another wink from the universe because I'm hardcore gluten-free right now with this autoimmune stuff going on. And literally the entire resort was gluten-free. I didn't plan that when I planned that trip a year ago. I was like, hallelujah. The universe said, we got you, girl. We're going to take care of the details. So, anyways, gather my girls up. So I led a group, and then Peyton, who's also a meditation teacher, she led a group of 8 girls, and we all set an intention. Obviously, I set one to heal this recent diagnosis that I have. Some girls just did emotional healing, but I wanted to read you one. Actually, I got a couple of feedback. So 2 girls, I'll give you like the emotional example. So one girl who's the cutest thing in the whole entire universe, she wanted to really use her voice and share her gifts with the world and to release anything that was keeping her back from sharing her voice. And I feel that's a really, really common theme amongst women, is like really feeling safe to express our true authentic voice. And after doing her Power of Eight circle, the next day, she had a music producer reach out to her in her city asking her to come in and record. And she was like, what? This is insane. Like, literally, someone contacted her to record her voice, to share her voice with the world. That happened. Another girl in the circle had just gotten out of a more intense job situation and she was looking for community the night after we did her Power of Eight circle, she got a job offer or an opportunity position come available for her that she had been wanting. They previously said it wasn't the right time, wasn't available, and then that night she got the position for a community that she was interested in being a part of. That was so, like, we were all like clapping and cheering and we were so excited. Another girl in our circle, she had a person in her life, it was her trainer, who had really, really bad scoliosis. And so for the 5 minutes, I made us all visualize her x-ray with a clear, straight, healed spine. And she just sent me, I'm going to read you guys the update that she just sent after we got home, a day after we got home. She said, "Holy fuck, I have a Power of Eight update. I saw my trainer today and shared about the intention and how Power of Eight works. She shared she had an appointment with a surgeon the Tuesday after our Power of Eight, and he said no surgery, and she probably won't ever have to have it. And she said it's been feeling really good, and she's recently felt taller. Like, she made me measure her today. I have to get an x-ray of how crooked her spine was before so you guys can see it. So we're going to get the x-rays, both back to back so we can kind of see the update and the progress because I love a little data. But she was previously someone who was going to 100% without a doubt need surgery. And then she went to this appointment after we did our Power of Eight and she no longer needs surgery. I don't care what you guys think listening. Energy is so real and we have the ability to heal each other. That's why we all got to come together. And I'm going to do more of these Power of Eight circles. We also call them healing circles, whatever word works best for you. I also had another girl on the trip who was really just setting an intention for more confidence. And she, went skinny dipping with us, I was taking everybody like naked photos of everyone. I was like, okay, I have a nude album of everyone. Cause I was just like, let's just be free in our body. There was nothing more healing, more clearing, more nurturing than being in your natural state, naked body in the nature and just allowing the water to cleanse your body, cleanse your chakras. It's so healing on so many levels and it's fun. And it just feels good. Just the difference of wearing your swimsuit versus being naked is different. It just feels right. Having your boobs just float up, oh, it's just good. It's good stuff. But she said the nude pic in the ocean was a start, but since I've been back, multiple people I've encountered said I have a completely different aura around me and then I'm exuding confidence. I also wore a new workout set today that I tried on before I left for the trip and thought I looked like garbage in it. I wore it confidently today and got tons of compliments. Thank y'all for helping me up level. Also, another girl, she said, I've been babysitting this little boy. I think he's like 3 or 4. And I always tell people when you start playing around with energy work, with meditation, with tapping into the most divine, loving flow, your physical being will shapeshift. No questions asked. I look completely different. People tell me all the time that they didn't recognize me over the course of 2 years. Like they followed me and then they unfollowed me for a while and then found me again. And they're like, what the fuck? You look so different. I'm like, it's because I'm meditating and I'm love actually physically alters ourselves on a cellular level. I don't care what anyone says, truth, facts. But she said the little boy she picked up the little boy that she was babysitting for. This is another girl who's on the treat. And whenever you're sending loving, healing energy, because I believe we were all energetically connected, we are also healing ourselves. Like it's the law of one. If I'm helping you heal, that's also helping me heal because that's the mirror work that happens. If we are all one, we all come from the same God, we all come from the same energy, and I'm helping you heal something, that's healing something inside of me. That's why it's so important for us to help others and to be on service because it's helping all of us collectively. It's so important. And so we all started receiving the side effects of sending this healing, loving energy. And one of the girls said, I went and picked up the little boy that I babysit for. Like I said, he's 3 or 4. And he kept going, Maddie, you just look so pretty today. You look so beautiful. And she's like, he's never once said that in his ever. He's never ever said that. But I'm telling you, kids can sense this energetic shift. They sense when your aura changes. They sense when there's light from your eyes. And for them, they're like, "Oh, you look so pretty. You look like an angel." But really, it's an energetic up level. It's an energetic shift that's taken place. So, you guys, it's only been 2 days and I just have all of those beautiful, amazing, fun examples. I can't wait for a week from now, 2 weeks from now. I can't wait till when I go to the doctor and the doctor's gonna be like, "Wow, your blood work is perfect. You're healed. You're a miracle." And I'm gonna say, I know. I'm a fairy unicorn and I'm not surprised. So I am just so, so honored that for everyone that went on the first AG University retreat and for everybody listening, that you allow me to speak into your ear holes every single week and thank you for trusting me with this guidance, because I feel super honored to hold space in the way that I've been holding space lately, and for the healing that's been taking place and all the miracles that have been taking place. And I just really, really believe that we are all magical beings and that we can heal no matter what anyone says, no matter what diagnosis you've ever received or a family member in your life. It is not over. There is always healing that we can do that can come from inside of us, because we are all magical creatures and we are healers. And I really, really, really believe that. So I just hope that encourages somebody today. Like I said, you can start your own Power of Eight circles. Also, check out, I saved an entire AGU University Costa Rica highlight if you want to stalk it and see. I'm thinking I'll probably do another Costa Rica trip and then offer another trip to a new location for my girls that have already been on this retreat. Because literally, they were already like, so when's the next one? I was like, okay. So, and since then, I've had a few people reach out to me wanting me to host retreats. So I feel like it's happening. I've also connected with a couple of dancing unicorns who have spaces. They want me to come and teach this somatic workshop because it's really, really powerful work. And I'm just really passionate about it, as all of the things that I talk about on this podcast. Okay, you guys, I think that's everything I have today. I wanted to just do a quick solo chatty update. I also love to bring you guys on the evolution of all of my manifestations. We'll see what happens. We're going house touring tomorrow. So I'll be back next week with an update of sorts, or the next week. I'm not really sure. Also, other announcements. You guys know school's out for summer. This is a college, this is a school, a university, just as any other school. And Professor AG's got to take some time off, mostly because we would be technically homeless in those 2 months in between houses. And it's a little hard to record. However, we could be living in a new house, new studio. So this could change, but I want you to start mentally preparing that I do say school's out for summer, May 15th, and class resumes August 15th. So that is the schedule for right now. Things could change if I get into a different housing situation. We'll see. But also it's always good for me to take a break. I'm really in this like I really, 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 really want my health to just be absolutely immaculate, which it already is. It's done. We've already done the Power of Eight. But a lot of that was just offloading some stress in my life and actually taking summer to play in the sun and just like be a mermaid in the ocean. So, keeping my health at the forefront, but also keeping us on our schedule. That is probably May 15th, August 15th. That's what I'm looking at right now. And I'll keep you guys posted. But so stay with us in class, but don't worry, I'm coming back. I'm not going anywhere. Last summer, everyone was like, where did you go? When are you coming back? And I was like, oh, you guys, sorry. This was a scheduled season 1 finale. And I do that. I'm probably going to do that most of the years going forward. But it's going to be a good time for you to binge and catch up on all AG University podcast episodes. Also, if you send them with any of your friends, thank you so much. That truly means the world to me. Also, if anyone's new, I always recommend them starting at episode number 1, because I feel like it lays a really good foundation for all of the work that we're doing here at AG University. And that's all. I love you guys so much. I hope you have a beautiful day. Get out, get in nature, take some deep breaths, and just remember that your higher self, she freaking knows. She knows where we're going. She knows the next steps. Just enjoy the train ride, okay? That is life. That's this crazy, silly game that we are all playing, and nothing is as serious as we think it is. That is my final closing thoughts. I love you. I love you. I love you. Bye. As always, I just wanted to say thank you so much for tuning in. If you feel so called or if it feels aligned, I would love for you to leave me a review here. I always love reading your beautiful thoughts and messages. And also you can find me at Anna Grace Newell on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And I will link all of my courses, AG University course curriculum, in the show notes, along with if you're interested in booking an Akashic Records reading with me. My scheduling link goes out in my newsletter. It goes out once a month and it's completely free. I would love to have you there. As always, I'm a proud professor and you get an A+ for making it all the way through the end. Love you.